Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss a very important question from the IES Indian Economic Service General Economics paper 2 2026. Now before we begin, let me tell you one interesting fact. The IES examination is one of India's most prestigious economics examinations conducted by the UPSC. And unlike ordinary university examinations, IES questions do not merely ask for the definitions. They expect you to connect the economic theories with the real world history, compare the economists, critically analyze the ideas, and explain the concepts with the examples. So today we will answer this question exactly in the way an IES examiner expects. Okay. So first read the question. Examine Frank and Amin's development of underdevelopment, interpretation of backwardness, and the associated interpretation of unequal development as a pattern of homogeneous growth in the center and stagnation or highly uneven growth in the periphery. Okay. So the examiner is asking three things. What did Frank mean by the development of underdevelopment? What did Amin add to this theory? And how does this explain unequal development between the center and the periphery? Okay. So before understanding Frank and Amin, we need to know the background. Earlier economists like Rostrow believed that every country passes through the same stages of development, and according to them, poor countries are simply at an earlier stage of development. But Frank and Amin completely rejected this idea. They said underdevelopment is not the absence of the development, it is actually the result of the development elsewhere. So, this is the most famous sentence in the dependency theory. And the rich become rich because the poor become poor. So, remember this line, it can be written in the any IES answer. Now let's understand Frank. Frank introduced the famous concept called the development of underdevelopment. Okay, so he argued that underdevelopment is historically created. It is not natural. It is produced through centuries of the colonialism and the capitalism. Okay, so colonism and capitalism are the main things here. Now imagine the world as a chain. So if the top are rich capitalist countries, and below them are the developing countries, and below them are the villages, and below villages are the poor farmers, and money continuously moves upward, so resources continuously move upward. So profits continuously move upward. So as a result, the top becomes richer while the bottom becomes poorer. So Frank called this metropolis satellite model. Okay. Metropolis means the center and satellite means the dependent region. So each metropolis exploits the satellite, right? And even within a country, big cities exploit the small towns, and small towns exploit the villages, and villages exploit the farmers. So exploitation exists at multiple levels. For example, during the British colonial rule, India exported cotton and Britain manufactured textiles. Britain earned huge profits, and while the Indian handicrafts declined. So Britain developed, India remained underdeveloped. So this is exactly what Frank wanted to explain. Okay. Now notice one important difference. Modernization theory says poor countries are poor because they are traditional. Dependency theory says poor countries are poor because they were integrated into the capitalist world economy in the unequal manner. So this comparison fetches extra marks. Okay, so remember that. Now, Samir Amin's contribution we will talk about. So Amin agreed with Frank, but he developed the argument further. He introduced the concept of the center and periphery. Okay, so according to him, the world economy is divided into two parts. That is, first is the center, and like highly industrialized countries, advanced technology, high productivity, strong financial institutions, high wages, and the second one is the periphery. Okay, like the primary commodity producers, the low industrialization, cheap labor, dependence on the exports, weak technology, and the relationship between the two is unequal. The center controls technology, finance, trade, investment, and the multinational corporations. And the periphery supplies the raw materials, cheap labor, and the markets. So, as a result, the center enjoys the continuous economic growth while the periphery experiences stagnation. Okay. Now, Amin has a famous concept, that is the unequal exchange. According to Amin, countries do not exchange the goods on the equal terms. The periphery exports products with low value addition, while the center exports the high technology manufactured goods. So, therefore, the gains from the trade mainly go to the center, and this continuously widens the global inequality. Okay. So, international trade under the capitalism is not a partnership, it's a hierarchy. Okay. Now, let's answer the second half of the question. The question asks, why is development homogeneous in the center but uneven in the periphery? So, according to Frank and Amin, the center experiences continuous industrialization, stable infrastructure, high investment, technological innovation, high development, and rising incomes. So, therefore, growth is relatively balanced and homogeneous. But the periphery experiences are limited industrialization, regional inequalities, dependence on the foreign capital, urban concentration, rural poverty, and the unemployment. And growth occurs only in a few cities, while most regions remain backward. So, this is called the uneven development. Okay. Now, every IES answer should include the criticism, right? So, some economists argue that Frank exaggerated the role of the external exploitation, and internal problems like the poor governments, corruption, weak institutions, political instability, and the lack of education, and also contribute to underdevelopment. And another criticism is that countries like South Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, and later China successfully integrated into a global economy and become developed. So this suggests that dependency is not always permanent. Okay, so to conclude, we can say that Frank explained that underdevelopment is historically produced through the capitalist exploitation, and Amin extended this by explaining how the global capitalist system creates a powerful center and a dependent periphery. So the center enjoys the continuous and relatively homogeneous growth, while the periphery experiences the stagnation, regional imbalance, and uneven development. Even today, many debates on the globalization, international trade, global inequality, and the North-South relations are based on the ideas of Frank and Amin. Therefore, their theories remain highly relevant for understanding why some countries continue to prosper while others struggle despite participating in the global economy. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. See you in the next session. Bye bye.